I want to be honest with you about something that took me a while to actually sit with. Real estate is a great business, but it has a fragility built into it that most agents don't talk about out loud. When you stop working, so when you take a vacation or if you get sick, or even when the market slows down and you pull back, the income stops with you. Every single dollar in this business is tied to your personal production. And if your personal production stops, so does everything else. Asking myself a question that changed how I think about my whole career. What would it look like to build something that doesn't stop when I do? The question led me to eXp Realty and the Wolfpack community and what I've been building alongside my production business, slowly, intentionally, without cold recruiting and without pitching people, is a massive income layer through revenue share. Today, I'm going to share exactly what that looks like and how it works. I'm Meg Estees, I'm a real estate agent, and I'm building a modern business in public. That means I share what I'm actually doing in my business, so the systems, the tools, the strategies, not what I think sounds good. And if that's the kind of content that you're looking for, you should subscribe. I post new videos every single week, and if anything in this video resonates with you and you want to have a real conversation about whether eXp and the Wolfpack might be a good fit, book a call at the link in the description or text me directly at 520-980-9880. I do discovery calls every week and there's no agenda other than an honest conversation. Let me start with the thing most agents already know, but they don't say out loud. Commission-based income is powerful. When the deals are flowing, this career is incredible. But commission income is also inherently unstable. It's tied to your activity, your health, your market conditions, your motivation on any given month. And for most agents, there is no fallback, no recurring revenue, no income that comes in whether you close a deal this month or not. I'm not saying that to be negative about real estate because I absolutely love this career, but I think it's important to be honest about what the income structure actually looks like, because the agents who don't think about this tend to get blindsided by the eventuality. A slow month hits, a family situation comes up, the market shifts, and suddenly the gap between what's coming in and what needs to go out feels a lot more real than it did 6 months ago. The agents who tend to weather those moments best are the ones who have built at least one income stream that doesn't depend entirely on closing a deal this week. And that's what I've been focusing on building. Now, I want to be clear about something. I'm not here to tell you the passive income is easy or that it happens overnight. What I am sharing is what I am building slowly, consistently alongside my production business. I'm not at the finish line, I'm in the middle of it. And I'm sharing that process because I think it's genuinely used for agents who are thinking about the same questions that I was. To understand the passive income model I'm building, you need to understand what eXp Realty is and why it's uniquely structured for this. eXp Realty is a cloud-based brokerage. There's no physical office to maintain. It operates across multiple countries and it has a revenue share model built directly into its structure. Not as an add-on, not as a recruiting incentive, but as a core part of how the company operates. And here's what that means practically. When you join eXp, you have the opportunity to attract other agents to the brokerage. When those agents produce, so when they close deals and pay their fees to eXp, you earn a percentage of eXp's portion, not the agent's commission. You get part of eXp's side, and that compounds as the agents you attract bring in others. This is a real revenue share. It's not an MLM, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's a brokerage model that shares a portion of its revenue with the agents who help it grow. The mechanics are very transparent, they're published, and they've been operating at scale for years. Nobody does it like us. I want to be upfront about my own experience here. I'm not going to tell you I have hundreds of agents under me generating life-changing passive income. That's not where I am. What I'm doing is building intentionally. I am partnering with agents who want to align with the way that I work, who find me through my content, and who want to be part of a community that takes modern business seriously. The Wolfpack community through Mike Sherrard is a huge part of why this works for me. EXP on its own is good, but the Wolfpack is what makes it exceptional because it's a network of thousands of agents across the country who are sharing systems, trainings, AI tools, and strategies with each other. When an agent joins EXP through me, they're not just joining a brokerage with me, they're joining my entire ecosystem. And that's the differentiator. Let me walk you through how the revenue share model actually works, because I think a lot of agents have heard the term, but they don't have a clear picture of the mechanics. So when you attract an agent to EXP, they become part of your downline. EXP has a tiered revenue structure. The specifics are published on EXP's website, and I would encourage you to read them directly because the exact numbers and caps can change, and I want to make sure that you're getting the most current information. But the basic concept is this. When agents in your downline close transactions and pay their company dollars to EXP, EXP shares a portion of that back with you. The amount per transaction is not massive in isolation, but it doesn't need to be. What makes this model work is volume and consistency over time. If you have 10 actively producing agents in your downline and each of them closes 2 or 3 transactions a month, those small per transaction amounts add up to something very meaningful. And as those agents attract others, the compounding begins. The key word there is actively producing. Revenue share only pays on agents who are closing deals. So the quality of who you attract matters enormously. I'd rather partner with 2 agents who are serious and productive than 10 agents who join and go dormant. That's a meaningful distinction, and it's one reason I don't approach this like a recruiting business. I approach it like a partnership business. There are also equity components to EXP that I think is underappreciated. If rev share is not your thing, EXP has a stock program where agents can earn company stock as part of their compensation. The value of that stock depends on the company's performance over time. It's a long-term play, not short-term windfall. But for agents who are thinking about building wealth beyond the commission checks, it's worth understanding. For the specific numbers on revenue share tiers, caps, and stock programs, I genuinely encourage you to book a call with me rather than relying on anything I say in this video, because those details are best explained in a real conversation where I can answer your specific questions. The link is in the description. Here's what building a passive income layer revenue share actually looks like in practice. Not the glossy version, but the real version. It starts with content. The agents who partner with me find me because of what I'm putting out in the world. They watch my videos, they see how I operate my business, they see the systems I use, the tools I invest in, the way that I think about modern real estate. And some of them reach out because they want to build something similar, or because they're already building something similar and they want to be able to connect to a community that's doing the same thing. And it is a slow build at the beginning. The first few months of creating content, I wasn't getting calls from agents every single week. But over time, as the content library grew and more videos started showing up in searches, the conversations started coming in more consistently. And now, while I'm still far from the scale that I want to be at, there's a trickle of inbound that I didn't have before. The other piece is the community. When I point agents toward the Wolfpack, I'm not just pointing them towards a brokerage or a team or a group. I am pointing them toward weekly training calls, a network of agents who are sharing what's working, resources on AI, the best resources to be honest, and marketing systems and lead generation strategies that I use myself. The community is genuinely valuable on its own, And that makes the conversation about partnering feel much more natural than a pitch. I also want to be honest about what I've invested in to build this. I did hire a coach last year. I invested in my systems. I spent real time and money learning how to build a business that works for this level. The Wolfpack training and the EXP infrastructure are huge parts of why I was able to get organized and start creating content consistently. And then I perfected it with my coach. I'm not doing this alone. I wouldn't pretend otherwise. Here's what I tell agents who ask me how to get started with this. You don't need a massive following. You don't need to have it all figured out just yet. You need to start showing up, creating content that actually reflects what you actually do, building systems that make your business more efficient, and being willing to have honest conversations with agents who resonate with what you're building. The rest compounds from there. And I also want to be honest about who this model is actually a good fit for, because I think the worst thing I could do is make it sound like it's for everyone, because it's not. Revenue share through EXP works really well for agents who are already producing and want to build something alongside their business. If you're not consistent with your own production, adding an agent attraction layer on top of that is going to divide your focus in a way that doesn't serve either side very well. Get your own business stable first. Then think about this. It works well for agents who are content creators or who want to be. The attraction model is built on visibility. If you're willing to show up on YouTube, on social media, and at events, if you're willing to be findable, this model has a real upside over time. If the idea of creating content feels completely foreign and unappealing to you, that path is a little harder. It works well for agents who value community and collaboration. The Wolfpack is not a passive resource. It's an active, engaged network of people who share, ask questions, and help each other out. If you're a solo operator by nature and you don't want to be connected to other agents, that's completely fine. But the Wolfpack model specifically works best for agents who want to be a part of something. And honestly, EXP is not the right brokerage for every agent. Some agents genuinely thrive in a traditional brick and mortar environment with local management and in-person support. If that's what you need to do your best work, honor that. I'm not here to tell you EXP is the answer for everyone. I'm sharing what's working in my business and why. What I can tell you is that for agents who are building a modern business using AI, creating content, thinking about scalability, wanting to be a part of a forward-thinking community, the combination of EXP and the Wolfpack is genuinely hard to beat right now. And if you've been watching this and you're at a point in your career where you're asking the same questions I was, what would it be like to build something beyond my personal production? Then I would really love to talk to you. Not to pitch, not to close you on anything. I genuinely do not operate in that way, but I think it's important to have an honest conversation about where you are, what you're building, and whether or not EXP and the Wolfpack make sense for your situation. Book a call at the link in the description, or if you'd rather just text and have a low-key conversation first, that's totally fine. 520-980-9880. I'm a real person and I respond to real messages. If this was useful, you should subscribe because I post content like this every single week. Drop a comment and tell me where you are in your business right now because I read and respond to every single one.